I think it's about putting the information in bite-sized, digestible, relevant pieces. That's why having the arc of onboarding is really important. So that would be the number one must-have is the arc. The other piece is making sure that there is clarity of purpose. Gen Z really cares about values and they want to align themselves with companies that have certain values. And then the last piece is goal. I'm going to insert like a bullet point into that. Also being clear about what progression looks like. It doesn't work for them to not understand when I'm doing what I'm doing and how do I grow? How do I make more money? How do I add more value? They're just not willing to stick around and not understand how they're going to ascend inside of an organization. Again, it's a little bit because they are of the generation where things sort of kind of happen in an instant gratification way, but they're also of the generation where like they are super resourceful and nimble. And so therefore they see themselves as being able to adapt and move quickly because they can learn pretty fast. And so we have to figure out a way to like close the gap between like their skills and like what their willingness is, and then also develop them from a soft skill perspective. So that's another absolute must have is making sure in the onboarding process, we're clear that we have to develop soft skills and it's not just about training them on their job. The truth is they could probably do their job with their eyes closed, honestly. Like they're not, it's unless it's a very technical or a job that requires a lot of just understanding how mechanics work with clients. Most Gen Zs can show up and pretty much deliver on the actual job description. It's really more like teaching, providing onboarding for the soft skills required to excel inside that organization and then also in general in their careers. So that has to be a part of the onboarding. And most companies get really frustrated and they start to cycle around these sort of like moments of conflict with Gen Z where we feel like they're being entitled or that they're being lazy or that they just like don't communicate well because they're only on Slack. They won't have the face-to-face meetings. They won't do the difficult conversations. So we start to have all these complaints, but the challenge is like the focus for the company is now shifting from training them on skills to training them on these more softer sort of relational skills. So that those are the must-haves I see that are really important.